This is my true life story. I never imagined my life would turn out this way. I wake up every morning with a heavy heart, knowing that my last words to my husband were filled with anger, hate, and pain. The guilt eats me up inside. I can't sleep. I can't think straight. I keep replaying that night in my head over and over again. It all started when I found out the truth. My husband, the man I loved, the father of my children, had been living a double life. He had side chicks, and worse, he had fathered a child outside our marriage. That child was the same age as our firstborn. I was shattered. How could he do this to me? To us? I confronted him, and the fight was ugly. I said things I never imagined I could say to the father of my children. "You are stupid. I regret ever meeting you. You are a narcissist. Get out of my sight." I was so angry, shaking with rage. I didn't care if my words hurt him. I wanted him to feel the pain I was feeling. I wanted him to know that I was done. And then, he left. I remember him slamming the door so hard that the whole house shook. I heard his car speed off, but I didn't care. I was still fuming. I didn't even call him back. 4 hours later, my phone rang. It was a number I didn't recognize. I picked up, and the voice on the other end changed my life forever. "Are you the wife of Mr. Williams?" "Yes, who is this?" "I'm calling from St. Peter's Hospital. Your husband was involved in a car accident. You need to come immediately." My whole body went numb. My breath caught in my throat. My hands started shaking so bad I almost dropped the phone. I rushed to the hospital, my heart pounding in my chest. By the time I got there, my legs gave out. I fainted at the entrance. When I woke up, the doctor's face told me everything before he even spoke. My husband was gone. Tears poured down my face. I screamed until my throat hurt. I kept saying, "No, no, this can't be real." But it was real. I would never see him again. My children would never see their father again. And the last words I said to him were words filled with hate. I went into deep depression. Some days I couldn't even get out of bed. I stopped eating, stopped talking. The guilt was killing me inside. I fainted twice in 1 week. My children needed me, but I was drowning in my own pain. I kept thinking, if I hadn't said those things, if I had just controlled my anger, if I had asked him to stay instead of telling him to leave, would he still be alive? The thoughts tortured me day and night. I reached out to the woman. At first she was cold, but I told her, "I'm not here to fight. I just want to do what's right." I started supporting their child, paying for their bills. I didn't know why I was doing it. Maybe I thought it would wash away the guilt. Maybe I wanted to make up for my last words. Maybe I just wanted to do something good for once. But no matter what I did, the guilt didn't leave me. Now I ask myself every day, will God forgive me? My children will grow up without a father because of me. Because of my anger. Because of my words. Should I tell my husband's family the truth? Should I tell them that their son's death was my fault? That my words sent him to his grave? Or should I keep carrying this burden alone? I don't know what to do. All I know is that the weight of guilt is heavier than anything I've ever carried. And I don't know if I will ever be free from it. But then fate threw another twist at me. After his burial, I decided to go through his things. His phone and his laptop were not locked. Curiosity got the best of me, and I opened it. Maybe I wanted to feel close to him again. Maybe I was just looking for answers. What I found shook me to my core. The truth I never saw coming. There they were, emails, text messages, transactions, proof that my husband had been living a double life. My husband had been supporting his other child behind my back for years. He even had life insurance with the child's mother as one of the beneficiaries. The betrayal cut even deeper than before. I already knew about the child he had outside our marriage. That was the reason we fought that night. But what I didn't know was what he was doing that night after he left the house. The messages told me everything. He wasn't driving around in pain. He wasn't rushing off to cool his head. He was on his way to see his side chick. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding in my chest. The last message he sent before the accident was still there. "Babe, I'm on my way, be ready." Tears streamed down my face as I scrolled through the messages. It was right there, black and white. While I was blaming myself, thinking my words had sent him to his death, the truth was, he made that choice himself. The accident didn't happen because I told him to leave. It happened because he was speeding to meet another woman. I felt like the floor had been ripped from under me. I had spent weeks torturing myself, thinking I had caused his death. But now, I realized something. He chose to betray me. He chose to leave, and he chose to rush to his side chick that night. It wasn't my fault. It took me a while to process everything. I had spent so much time drowning in guilt that I forgot one thing. He was a grown man who made his own decisions. Would things have turned out differently if I hadn't told him to leave? Maybe. Maybe not. But at the end of the day, I couldn't control his actions. Letting go of guilt. For the first time since he died, I felt something different. Not happiness, not peace, but relief. I had been punishing myself for something that was never my fault. Yes, I was angry that night. Yes, I said terrible things. But I wasn't the one who made him get in that car. I still cry sometimes. I still struggle. But the difference now is that I am learning to forgive myself. I still help support his child from outside, not because I owe it to my husband, but because the child is innocent. As for my husband's family, I no longer feel the need to tell them it was my fault, because now I know it wasn't. Some wounds take time to heal, but at least now I know. I didn't kill my husband. He made his choices. And now it's time for me to start making mine, to live, to heal, to move forward.